Hey guys, it's not that cold out, but it's cold enough. But today, we're gonna warm you up with Marquette, Michigan, out on Stannard Rock, joining the boys from Sore Arms Charter Service. Write that down because these guys know where the fish are on Stannard Rock. They'll put you on great fish. They put us on great fish. Stay tuned, an awesome adventure is right in front of you. You know, the Marquette County region of the Upper Peninsula is one of the most historic places anywhere in the state of Michigan. We fish today out of the Big Bay area, and Big Bay itself has tons of history. And we went out of a small little harbor here and went out to the Stannard Rock, which is a reef structure that's many, many miles offshore, and it has some of the best rod-in-hand lake trout fishing anywhere in the world. These are legitimate trophy-sized fish. They're prehistoric fish. Many of these fish have been around 30, 40, even 50 years. It is an awesome place. It's a bucket list experience. It's just not a place to go fishing. It's a true bucket list experience I would encourage anybody to take part in. Is that a fish?
Oh, yeah,
No,
fish.
no, it's not. I'm gonna drop down a little.
Here's my girl. Oh my God. Oh, 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 oh.
Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. Unbelievable! I'm in the water. I want to stay in the water. That is craziness. Oh my God! Oh, don't let him in.
Here's my jig.
Okay, jig's out.
Yep.
I had one too.
Trying to get a good way. Boy, it's
No good way to.
this is a big fish here.
No good way to grab them.
Oh well, it was bigger, but this is a nice fish here.
That's a 30.
Oh, it's easily a 30.
That's unbelievable.
A picture?
You know it's ridiculous when you have to let the fish go with two guys. I don't think I have a big one, but I have one, which we're happy about.
Ooh, there's a bunch of fish right here.
Yeah, there's fish. There has to be a lot of fish here. I caught one. Awesome stuff though. Look at this water behind us. It's almost glass. You don't see that very often on Lake Superior. Nice little fish. I see color. I don't know how. Oh, it's because it's so clear. I've got a leader that's 20 feet long, and I can still see the fish way back there. He just spit a bubble up. Boom. There he is. Beautiful Lake Superior trout. Awesome. We'll show this to you, and we'll let him go, no worse for the wear. Go ahead and handle them if you want. One of the keys while Dan gets the fish out is don't handle the fish any more than you absolutely have to. If you're gonna play the catch and release game, big chunk of catch and release is leaving the slime on the fish. And they'll do that already and wrap themselves up in the net. But you know, the more you hold them, the more you handle them, the less chance they have of making it out of there in one piece. I tell you what, he hit that a lot better.
You didn't get him on the stinger hook.
No, exactly. Beautiful fish. That was a whack.
Hey, no denying that one, eh?
Yeah, I set the hook and it was like, oh, yep, got him.
We got your new chunk of fish.
No, we caught him.
The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Strike King Lures, tie one on. Lose, feel the difference. And WavePro, best ride on the water.
Stannard Rock, baby. Dan the Man Featherstone. Aaron, Lane. Drifting on a bucket list experience here. You've absolutely got to do this. One thing in their long, hard fights, one of the things, Dan, correct, you just got to take these fish up easy, right? You don't want to damage them.
Yep. Oh,
I don't know how big this fish is.
It's a nice
you
fish,
just
John.
never know.
it's a nice fish.
They'd probably go all the way to the bottom.
I'm gonna say a teener right now.
Again, yeah. If you've never done this, Marquette County, out of Big Bay, Sore Arms Charters. Look them up on the web, Sore Arms Charters, out of Big Bay, Michigan, and this is what you get. Fish that if you have tendonitis, remind you that you still have tendonitis. There's just zero you can do with these things. I know what you felt like with that monster of yours.
Not a walleye, eh, John?
No, it's not a walleye. I can't move them.
Still 100 feet down.
I know. 100 feet down. What did that bite come in? 180?
We're actually about 225 right now.
We're 225 right now. We're fishing all the way out to 240. And that's when Captain Aaron says it's time to go back into about 170. The fish seem to be 170 to 200 right now.
Big girls are.
Yeah, he's taking line again. This is silliness. Silliness. Stannard Rock, Marquette County. There's probably only one spot in the whole world like this, and this is it. I think that a lot of ships went down for them to figure out there was a reef out here back in the 18 and 1900s. But right now, there's a nice lighthouse on the rock. It's behind us, so you can't see it. And there is prehistoric lake trout out here. I mean, if you're a fisherman, forget that you're a lake trout or a walleye or any kind of fisherman. If you're a fisherman, this has got to be on your list of things that you have to do. You got to come here. You got to drift these crazy jigs with braid, and I think we got what, Suffix 832 on this.
Yep.
You got to have specialty equipment, but the guys at Sore Arms have got all of it for you. They got it right on the boats. We're fishing with anywhere from 2-ounce to 6-ounce jigs, depending on the weather conditions and the depth of water the fish are in. But yeah, this fish really doesn't want to be in our boat.
Your arms will be burning after this fish.
Yes, they will. But bottom line is the guys at Sore Arms have got all of this stuff for you. You don't need to buy anything. You just show up. You got to be flexible. That's one of the things I'll tell you straight up. You got to be flexible. There's going to be days you just can't come. The water and weather conditions just won't let the boats come out here, and the boys aren't going to take you out here when they know you can't catch fish. But you know, if you can be flexible a little bit, You're gonna come out here and you're gonna experience fishing like you've never ever seen, and may not be in any other circumstance that I'm aware of right now in the Great Lakes region. And that is fish that are 30, 40, 50 years old. He's getting somewhat close, but he's also deciding right now, I think he wants to swim away again. I can feel him deciding that. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, to show you my back a little bit, but there's only so much you can do here. We're getting close to the end. I want to see it. I want to see. Oh, it's leader.
Color.
Oh yeah.
Oh boy.
I know. I see color too. It looks like a great white.
All right, it's yours there, John.
It's mine. It's mine again.
All right.
There he is. Oh, it's another. Oh yeah. Yeah. All right, guys. I'm gonna have to get slimy to show you this.
All right.
Just show it off, Dan. I don't even have to hold it. Unbelievable. Stannard Rock, Marquette County. What, a 20?
High teens.
High teens? Perfect.
The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Offshore Tackle, leaders in trolling technology. Traxstech, the ultimate fishing system. And Garmin.
Yeah, he needs
I
the
got one
net.
here. I need a small net.
Small net. Nice healthy one.
Oh, I can use the big net on that, yeah.
No. Never. No.
You know, the basic tackle that you use out here on these Stannard Rock trips is just a spinning rod, kind of a medium heavy 6.5 foot spinning rod. You're gonna wanna have, and this is what the charter will provide to you here at Sore Arms, is about 20-pound braid, and then you're gonna have about a 12 to 20 foot fluorocarbon leader. Now the basic jig is kind of big here, and I'll just show it to you. This is the 6 ounce that we used, and this is when you're in super deep water. We were jigging as deep as 240 feet today. Now that's not typical, but when you're hunting for big fish, sometimes you gotta go out in deep water. And then as you see behind me, there's different rods with different size jigs, different grub bodies on them, and they're all basically the same setup. So it's really a basic setup. So if you're thinking about, man, I need special skills, not so. If you know how to hold a spinning rod and reel, and you know how to drop it down and kind of feel bottom, and that braided line is going to help you a lot. You'll be able to fish on a charter out here at Stannard Rock. And they'll give you lots of tips and pointers as you go through the day. Plus, the guys at Sore Arms do a great job of boat control, using bags to slow your drift down and to keep you over top of the fish.
Oh yeah. Ooh, this one's nicer than the last one.
Good. Hey guys, just a little tip for when you're fishing of how to pick out great structure. Now we've pulled up on a great big underwater point. Now this point sticks out really far into the lake, as you can see, and it's surrounded by some of the deepest water on the lake. When it comes to choosing fishing spots, having a great graph that shows extreme detail like the Garmin 93 SV is really important. Not only do I have extreme detail, but then of course I can go back and split my screen so that I have down capabilities for sonar. So now that I've picked my spot to fish, and you can see my boat right here in this massive underwater point, I'm gonna work the edges, and as you can see, there's extreme detail here on my Garmin unit, right down to the single foot increments. This helps me be able to identify the little notches and the little critical spots. There's a little high spot right there surrounded by some deep water, and it tumbles off into extremely deep water out here. Having this ability and the ability to go back and forth between your screen and your down screen and then your Panoptics makes the 93 SV, with or without Panoptics, an awesome unit to be able to help you choose not only where to fish, but then to properly fish that spot correctly and with the right presentation. Having the right equipment puts more fish in your boat.
The Fisherman's Digest is brought to you by Crestliner, forged with strength, defined by durability.
You know, one of the things that I had to get accustomed to, because I'm an experienced fisherman and went today with experienced fishermen, so we went right out to the deep water looking for Leviathan, and as you saw in today's show, we got it. A mid to lower 30s fish. That is a true fish of a lifetime for almost anyone. And what I had to get accommodated was the jigging technique. We jigged from 160 to 250 feet of water. And so it took a little bit of time for me to get in contact, if you will, with my jig. Once I got it, as you saw, I was able to catch fish after fish. So it was really getting that first bite and that first hookup where I knew I had a bite, knew I had a hookup. Then I was able to concentrate on when that circumstance happened again and to go ahead and set the hook and be on the fish. But you do have to get a little acclimated to the jigging when you're in super deep water. In shallow water, piece of cake, you'll catch tons of fish. You know, the Marquette Stannard Rock Fishery is super unique, and you can access this fishery from two primary locations. The first being Main Marquette in the Marquette Harbor area, and also swing around north into very northern Marquette County up here to where we went out of today, out of Big Bay. Now it really doesn't matter where you go out of, you're going to experience the same ridiculous fishing. Now, the cool thing about this fishery is it starts up right away in the spring. We're here in May. You could have come here 2 weeks ago, you know, weather permitting, and you can fish this all the way in until probably into the fall, middle September. That fishery is going. Now the fishery is of course there all year round, but one of the things that makes Marquette a little bit seasonal is the fact that it is a long ways from shore, and you do have to have amazingly good weather circumstances. You don't want huge waves, and so you want to be able to present your bait. So that's what kind of makes it a mid-May to mid-September fishery. Now when you get there, it's awesome. You're going to catch all kinds of lake trout. It's nothing to have 50 and 100 fish days. They're going to take you to shallower water areas where you're going to be able to just have great action with lots of fish for kids and people who aren't maybe experienced fishermen. Experienced fishermen who want to target nothing but a trophy can go ahead and slide deeper off the reef into deeper water and try for those 20, 30, even 40-pound Lakers that are there all the time at Stannard Rock. But there's a circumstance at both a depth and a size of fish circumstance that's there so that they can accommodate, most charters can accommodate any group of experienced fishermen, from the inexperienced fishermen all the way out to the experienced fishermen. Beautiful. You know, we went out today with Sore Arms Charters, and they're located here in Big Bay. And one of the things I love about these two guys, Aaron and Lane, is that they're really committed to the angler's experience. It's not just come pay your money, get in my boat and go fishing. Nope, Aaron and Elaine really care. They tailor make every single trip to the level of the anglers in the boat, maximizing the number of fish you catch, putting you in a circumstance that you're capable of fishing in and having great success, and also little touches, having the extra things on the boat, getting the grill out at lunchtime and actually cooking up some of the trout right there on the water for you to experience the way lake trout out of Lake Superior immediately after being caught tastes like. It was phenomenal. I have never had lake trout that good. It was truly a cool experience for me, and I've eaten plenty of lake trout. That was the best lake trout I ever had.
Got him?
Yeah. Beautiful. Stannard Rock Laker. Just a nice one. We're not keeping anything today other than the 2 that we ate at lunch, which you saw, which is one of the perks of Sore Arms Charters is fish on the grill in the middle of the lake.
Closed captioning brought to you by WavePro. Best ride on the water, online at waveproshock.com.